so let's review this then. Well, I've got my 3 washer dryers here, and this Sharp I've had for a while now. Truth be told, I can't actually remember if I bought it working or not. I really can't remember. Oh no, I think I remember what was wrong with it now. I think it wasn't draining, and all it was just something on the pump, stopping the pump from working, and that was it. So I really can't remember why or what was wrong with it, if I did buy it broken. I think I did buy it broken, basically. Effectively. Yes, I did. Sorry, I bought it broken. But I do think it was that, because I haven't changed any parts on it. Let's put it that way. So anyway, right. I've had it for a while now, so let's do a review on it. So this is model ES-HDB8147W0. Now that's if you've got the 8 kilo variant. There's a 9 kilo wash variant, which will run 9, and there's even a 10 kilo wash variant with a different display, but essentially all the same programs and stuff. So whether you've got the 8, 9 or 10, this can actually be used for you. Sharp is manufactured by the Turkish company Vestel. And in this country, Vestel do have quite a large range of brands sold as both store exclusives and as both high and low end brands. Sharp is Vestel's entry into the UK market as the premium brand. But I'm quite annoyed by that, because despite being a premium brand, this gives you in the way of no extras at all. No options. Really, no options. Right, so on off is at the top of the dial here, so you want the dial top dead center to turn it off, and then you can turn it either way to switch it on. So we'll start with whites/jeans at 90 degrees. It presets at 90. And we'll start off here with variable temperature. So you press the temp repeatedly, and it will go down in 10 degree steps all the way down to 20, and then cold afterwards. Also, as you go down, you'll see the time change. So what this machine does, it will actually heat to temperature near enough. Although 90 has always been around 82 degrees, so it's never 100% bang on. But that's only normal. And 82 degrees is quite good considering how long it then sits for before it, drains and stuff. Now this is where it gets interesting. So all these are in minutes, so it's 150 minutes for cotton 50. And when we get to cotton 40, it jumps up 200 minutes. That's 3 hours 20. But there may be a reason why for that. Oh, so it's 10 degree steps all the way down to 30. Also, we've got variable spin as well. So press the spin button. Max spin speed is 1400 and is also 1400 on this cotton cycle. And it goes down in 200 RPM steps all the way down to 400 RPM. Press it and you get 2 dashes, and that is no spin. And indeed, selecting no spin cuts out both the intermediate spins and the final spin. And on the final spin, it will just drain and then end the cycle. Then we've got drying level here. So, if you press it once, it will turn it on. The time's jumped up, and this little tiny icon here, where it's just 1, means iron dry. So this has sensor drying, it has 3 different levels. Press it again, you get 2 dashes, the time goes up again, and that is covered dry. Press it again, you got 3 dashes, which means it's now extra dry, and time's going up again. Press it again, then we've got this little time icon. You got 30, 60, and 120 minute time settings. Then we've got time delay here. So we've got time delay, and it's a delay start all the way up to 24 hours. 23 hours. God, you're annoying. Right, and then we've got wash. There's no wash options at all, so there's no extra rinse, no additional pre-wash, no whatever at all actually. On any of these programs, you've got pre-wash compartments that you will never use. That's annoying. Right, max load for the cotton cycle is 8, 9 or 10 kilos depending on the wash rating for your machine, and it has a automatic wash and dry capacity of 6 kilos. So if you select drying on some cottons, don't forget to limit your load. Next one is Cotton 60. This is the standard Eco 60 degree program for this machine. It's 255 minutes, that's 4 hours 15 minutes. It washes at reduced temperature for much longer, to achieve your energy efficiency rating as well as the A performance wash rating as well. So of course you can wash a full load of cotton laundry that is heavily soiled on this program. Of course it runs at 1400 RPM and you can still have drying as well. So what I'm just going to do here now is select spin while it's on drying and see what happens. So if you try to set the spin lower than when it's with drying on, it will not allow you to set any lower. So if you select a reduced spin, then select drying, it will override it and put it back up to a full spin. Then we've got Eco 20. Now this allows you to wash a half load of cottons that are lightly soiled economically at 20 degrees. So half load, 4.5 kilo for the 9 kilo, 4 kilo for the 8 kilo, and 5 kilo for the 10 kilo. It actually comes up with 20 degrees here, even though it's not a selectable option for any of the other cycles. So I'm going to go back to the Cotton 60 briefly. So let's select 40. And it's 245 minutes. So yeah, Cotton 60 is your standard 60 and 40 degree programs. I've got synthetics at 60 degrees. Now this is quite impressive with this, so Vestal will sometimes limit the synthetics temperature to just 40 degrees. But on this, they've allowed you to get the full 60 degrees. You can still have 40 degrees if you wish, which doesn't take as long. And it has a max spin of 1200 RPM. That's a nice improvement over the old 800 RPM. You can also have drying as well. If you select drying on the synthetics, it dries at a low heat as opposed to a high heat. Again, you can have all the drying options are available. And you can also automatically wash and dry a 3.5 kilo load of synthetics. You can also wash a 3.5 kilo load of synthetics as well. Then we've got the wool program. Washes very gently with a higher water level. It's only over and done with in just 38 minutes. There's of course no drying. It ends with a short slow spin as well at 600 RPM. And max load is 2 kilograms. Right, so next program is Sport. It is on this model. It may also be called Curtains, and it's exactly the same program regardless. So this information applies to both. Both have the exact same time length. They both spin at a short 600 RPM spin, and both preset at 40 degrees. Max load is 2.5 kilo, and it uses quite a lot of water within the wash cycle. Then we've got rinse and spin. At 46 minutes long, this means that this is rinses and spin. A couple of rinses followed by full length cotton spin at 1400 RPM. You can add drying on if you wish, and that will do the cotton's drying cycle. Then we've got the Algae Smart program. Now, this is actually a synthetics program base anyway, but it has a max load of 4.5 kilo. It's made for washing your baby clothes and any other clothes that require a high degree of both hygiene and rinsing. So what Algae Smart does is take the synthetics 60-degree cycle, which you can also lower the temperature on, as per usual. Limits the spin to 800 RPM because this is an older variant of the programming. Allows you to have drying, but only to the second level, and will allow 4.5 kilo, that's a half load, to be washed. What the machine does will do 3 rinses instead of 2, like on every other program, but the rinses get much longer, achieving very good rinsing results because of it. Then we've got spin only. It takes 21 minutes on this variant, and it does a Cotton's 1400 spin. More than likely because it's got to be changed up for the drying. Talking of drying, you can add drying on if you wish. Then we got Super Jet 30 degrees 15 minutes. Not entirely sure why it's called Super Jet, because there's no jet system on this machine. Vestel do make jet systems for their washing machines and washer dryers, but this just doesn't have it. So normally Russell Hobbs have a Super Jet program that's 12 minutes long, which is actually 15 minutes long, but they have a jet system, so this would make sense, but this just doesn't have a jet system. Why is it called Super Jet? Don't know. Maybe it's their word for obviously being a rapid program. Max spin is 800 RPM. You can add drying to it as well. Max load is 2 kilo for lightly soiled synthetics and cotton laundry. Just be aware, only just 1 rinse on this cycle. Then we've got daily 60 degrees 60 minutes. Max load is half load, 4.5 kilo on the 9 kilo versions, 4 kilos on the 8 versions, and 5 kilo on the 10 kilo versions. Washes for 60 minutes. That's 60 degrees, which you can also reduce on this, which is nice. Will it reduce time? No. If reduce time, doesn't seem to reduce the time of the wash though. And spins at a full final spin of 1400 RPM. Again, just be aware, it only does 1 rinse on this cycle. You can also dry the clothes as well if you wish. But you can only have the first 2 levels. Better another one. Then you've got Delicate Dry, which presets to Cover Dry. You've got all 3 levels, as well as time drying. So this allows you to dry 3.5 kilos of synthetics laundry at lower heat. Then you've got Cotton Dry, which allows you to dry 6 kilo of cotton laundry separately at a high heat. Again, you've got Cover Dry, Extra Dry, Time Dry, and Iron Dry. Can't change the spin, of course. You can't change the temperature. Makes sense. Then we've got Jet Wash and Dry. Now this is a complete program from start to finish where it will fill up, wash your clothes, rinse them, spin them, and dry them to, well, what looks to be iron dry. But truth be told, it's not. It's just a time dry. But because it's iron dry, it means it will come out damp, which is really annoying. The max load is 1/2 kilo, or the equivalent of 2 or 3 shirts, depending on the weight. Just for reference there. Or just simply 1 to 2 items. Lightweight items as well. Washes at 30 degrees and spins at nothing, apparently. No, it runs at 800 RPM, which is really, really annoying and backwards. So basically, it's a Super Jet 15-minute wash with around 18 to 20 minutes of drying on top of that. Yeah. The problem is, it only spins at 800 RPM. Indesit and Hotpoint went out their way to make their 15-minute express wash go all the way up to full spin of 1400 RPM. Why couldn't Sharp do it? In fact, to be also fair, Beko don't do it either. Logic do. Right, final program is cotton wash and dry. This allows you to wash and completely dry 6 kilos of cotton laundry in 285 minutes at cupboard dry. It actually is a lot quicker than selecting the whites at 60 degrees and then putting that on cupboard dry by about an hour. And you can adjust the temperature too, all the way up to 90. So this is a cotton cycle. So what happens on this is that the wash cycle is actually shortened, you know, to accommodate the 6 kilos over the full load of 8 or 9 or 10 kilo. And then we'll run the standard drying profile afterwards. Spin wise, you can't change it. It is set at 0 apparently, but it's not. Obviously it's set to 1400 RPM, but you can't change it because it's got to dry. But you can change whether you want, you know, time dry, iron dry, cupboard dry, or extra dry sensor settings for the dryer. Right. One little other thing as well, this dial here, it's a bit sensitive. It was. Stop doing it now. Sometimes pushing it around can make it jump programs, so bit of a quality thing there. Not great. So we've got the labels there, which is quite nice to have on this machine. One on that side, one on this side, and the one at the bottom. Right, so normally on the front here we have a heat shield. It's tinted. It will be going back on before I sell this machine onwards, but I've taken off for filming purposes because it's that dark you can't really see through it at all in any way, shape or form. Quite annoying when it's tinted. A nice clear one would have been better, especially to show off this green door seal inside. Anyway, open the door handle's here, pull it towards you, it opens up. And like I said, we've got a green door seal. Here is the entry point for the dryer. It's nicely curved in, actually. It's quite solid as well, actually. It's nice. And what's best to go with the green door seal? Green drum paddles with their patented drum. Nice big drum in there for the 8 kilo. It's also the same one used on the 9 and the 10. Yeah, so that's about how much you should load into your drum if you're doing complete wash and dry. Also down here, behind this flap, is your filter. It pings off, so I can't actually get it off right now. Right, so this is your detergent drawer. It's also green, which is nice. We've got the pre-wash compartment here, which you're never going to use because it can't do a pre-wash in any way, shape or form. This is your fabric softener compartment. Now, normally push this down and it releases it. However, it's a bit different on this drawer. But before I go on to that, so this is actually a little dispenser for your liquid detergent to go in. And I actually kind of recommend using this as opposed to putting it in the drum if it has one of these, because the water will completely dilute the laundry liquid before it even hits the wash. Whereas if it goes into the washer, it may end up in areas of the washer and get stuck and unused, which then can cause mould and build up as well. So nice to have that. Just another thing as well, we've got maximum there. It's actually marked out up here, so you've got quite a big-ish area before, you know, it fills up completely. Same with the fabric softener here. There's a little marker here that says maximum, so don't go beyond there. If you do, it will prematurely go into the wash. Here is where the release is for this drawer. Like I said, normally it's here, you just push that down, but on this it's here. So push there, then pull towards you, and you've released the drawer ready to clean. So, if you're using liquid detergent, you can pour it straight into there. If you're using powder detergents, take this out and then pour your powder in and leave it in there. Gotta be honest, I normally use powder on everything, mostly because it's cheaper than anything else. But liquid, especially the supermarket own brand stuff, is actually now cheaper per wash for liquid than it is for powder. So we're going to select cotton wash and dry. We're going to max the drying level out, and we're going to lower the temperature to 40. So before we hit start, the start pause light will be flashing. Then when we hit start, it turns solid. There's no light from the door lock, which is quite annoying. Also, pressing these two here will put CL on, which is child lock. And you just got to hit them two again, turn it off. CL will flash 3 times to say it's off. Oh. It's only just finished by the looks of things. Still baking hot. And they are fully dry as well. So what to give this out of 10 then? Well, manufactured by Vestel, so to be honest, it's because both Beko and Vestel are both Turkish brands, they do similarly, despite being separate brands, also kind of similarly follow each other to a degree. Hence why you look at the programs that are available on the Sharp, are very similar to those that are on the Beko. But the Beko does it better. Quite a lot. Because the programs are very long on the Vestel made Sharp, whereas the Beko are a lot quicker in several ways. And this sensor dries worse than the Beko. Bearing in mind, I'd pull out an extra dry and everything's come out dry, which is how it should have been. But the last several times, if I've used cupboard dry, it's very hit and miss whether it's going to actually get anywhere near to being dry. It seems to get very close, but doesn't quite do it. So what am I going to get this out of 10 then? Well, it's going to get a staggering 4 out of 10. The dry doesn't take that long. It's good, it's quite fast. I've had dryers that take a lot worse, you know, on a washer dryer. But there's no options at all. No wash options. It's just literally change the temperature, spin speed, drying level, and time delay. Where's the standard options you'd normally get on any washing machine anyway? Like quick or an extra rinse function. Where are they? Where's pre-wash? There's just nothing there. Also, because it has one rinse on the Daily 60, bearing in mind Panasonic years ago, which was also their top brand for the UK, had 2 rinses on the 60-minute wash. It took 8 minutes longer, but at least you got 2 rinses. It doesn't feel like it's upgraded from that. It feels like we're still a Bosch washing machine with a tumble dryer function. That's then £200 more expensive. These are not cheap. The RRP of the 8 kilo is around £500, and for the 10 kilo it is closer to £600. Bearing in mind that the Beckos come in at around £400, yeah, you can see why this is getting such a low score. The price doesn't justify all the downsides with this machine. Now, if they turned around and said that this machine was £350, I could probably forgive them, but it's not. It's just not cheap at all. And, as I found out, if you have the touch display version, it can go wrong. The touch display itself goes wrong. That's not good. And like I said, this dial, for some reason on this review, it now fully works, but it's working now. But when I first fired it up, you know, it kind of played around a bit. It jumped around within the programs. You touching that dial would change it to jump programs. Quality's not the best. There's a lot of style going on with this, like the green drawer, the green door seal, and the green drum paddles, all of which are you're probably not going to be able to get hold of if they break. You're probably only going to get the white versions only, or the grey door seal, shall I say. Yeah, that's my problem with it. It's too stylish, it's too expensive for what it is. Unfortunately, that's why it's giving me a low score. Alright, thanks for watching this review. Don't forget to like the video, don't forget to comment down below what you like or you don't like about this machine. Anything I've got wrong, also post down below. If you know the date of the machine, you can also post that down below. Looking at it, it seems to have come out in 2018. I think this was actually bought in about 2020, so it's about 3 years old. And I've had it for about 6 months or so, at least. So, yeah. I'd love to hear what you got to say down below. And I'll see you in another review. So, bye for now.